virtual people. What? Am I not live? Oh my God. Technical difficulties on our end, folks. Welcome to episode 30 of VCR Redux, where we take your favorite franchises out of the analog era and bring them back to 2021. I'm your host, pop culture punk Chris Stiles, joined as always by my co-host with the most, film professor Ian Klink.
How you doing, everybody?
And joining him, our own honorary third host from Rick Bars on the Line. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. Mickey Torres is on the show.
Yay.
What's up, everyone?
And rounding out this righteous crew, coming to you courtesy of our good friends over at the Punk Rock Geek Den, Greg Lucas is on the show.
Going, everybody.
What's up, buddy? Thank you
Welcome.
so much. Thank you so much for coming back on the show. This is the perfect episode for you to be on, and I'm so excited.
It is for sure.
We are here today to super shred till dawn, serve up some ninja pizza, Cow-a-bunga kicks, classic Corey Feldman, Casey Jones cricket, and hardcore 90s ninja rap. That's right. It's time for some old school live action Henson Creature Shop Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies.
Cricket, you got to know what a crumpet is to know what cricket is.
God bless Elias Codius. I hope I'm saying his name right. But at any rate, before we can figure out the secret of the ooze, we need to talk about how Ninja Turtles came into our lives and what we love about them. We'll start with Craig, but that also goes for you guys watching at home. Hit us up in the live chat with your Ninja Turtle tales. So, Craig, are we talking VHS, cable, rental, Laserdisc? How did it happen to you first?
Nope, TV. Well, I mean, the movie-wise, Turtles started on TV for me, but movie-wise, I started at the $1 matinee to go see him because I was such a crazy fan. And
right, I guess
first
we
two
all
I
probably
saw
had
in the theater, but the third one I saw on VHS.
So you saw the third movie first?
No, I saw the first. I saw all the movies in order, but the first and second one I saw in the theater, the $1 matinee.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Oh, right. You threw me for a sec there. Oh, the third one on VHS. That's the appropriate way to do it. I think we all, I don't know if any of us dragged our butts to the theater for the atrocity that is Turtles in Time, but we will get there. So movie theater,
will we?
How old is the young Craig walking out of a 90s movie theater for the first movie?
7.
And I'm sure I was about 6, I think. So I'm sure your mind was every bit as blown as mine was, and just complete satisfaction.
Here's why I love Mickey. You're gonna make fun of age groups while you're drinking tea, you bastard.
It's Pure Leaf sweet tea.
Sponsoring this show.
Mickey's
going after that sponsorship.
Yeah.
You're having a fucking Teenage Mutant tea party over there. I love it. How did it first happen?
I don't think advertisements all that bad.
There you go.
Yes, and it's the choice of a new generation.
I mean, you're usually drinking Mountain Dew anyways. So.
It's true.
It's like
not Mountain Dew. Diet Mountain Lion, sir.
Oh,
Mountain Lion Cola is a fine addition to the family of Mountain Soda products. Teenage Mountain Ninja Turtles on a future episode of VCR Redux. How did it first happen to you guys? The very first live action film?
VHS for me.
Ooh, you didn't take a date?
No,
Mac Daddy Mickey?
Not to the Turtles, bro.
I draw the line. She's not gonna do any. She's not gonna come between me and the four teenagers. Get out of here.
But it wasn't even to be honest, it was more my cousins. They were younger than me, so it was them interested in the Turtles, and that's how and then I was over their house and they had the VHS, so I watched it that way. But and that's pretty much the other ones. I think it was HBO or whenever it was on TV,
Okay. Crank down the excitement on that. You don't sound too thrilled about it, but I get it.
I mean, I love the Turtles. I mean, I was more into the cartoons, to be honest. I was more into the cartoons.
Okay. Well, the cartoons have their place, and we will probably pay homage to them as well at some point. But of course,
and
I should have
the
given
original
this
comic.
disclaimer. Yes.
The original comic.
Yeah. Got to give credit to Eastman and Laird. two of the greats, and it's a shame they didn't continue to work together because I, think about all the other things they could have created. Anyway, Ian, first time Ninja Turtles live action.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, the way I came through it is through the cartoon, right? I remember watching the cartoon and having the toys, but I remember watching the first movie. Good shout out to an old classmate friend of mine, Zach Eulin. Zach had every single Ninja Turtle toy that was out there. He had it. And I remember one day going over to Zach's house to play with the Ninja Turtles, and he played the movie. And I remember that was the first time that I watched, the first one, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie. That's what it was called. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Secret of the Ooze. We watched both of them while we were playing Ninja Turtles. So I got a double feature that day when I got introduced.
Yes, I'm just so excited that we finally tackled another franchise with the return to Roman numerals, so I could hear
Yes.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Secret of the Ooze.
That's right.
That just warms my heart. I missed you guys while you were on vacay. I'm glad you're all back.
We did not miss that shirt.
You know what? I should be stated that I wore this shirt, the color of red, for my favorite Ninja Turtle, Raphael, and I think ironically, I think we all have a different favorite Ninja Turtle on this show. I know Craig's a Michelangelo guy because he's a party dude. Mickey is a Donatello fan for Feldman. And Ian, you just strike me as a Leonardo type.
It's funny you say that. I actually am a Leonardo fan because he's the one who had it. He knew he was smart, and he honestly didn't give a crap. But I do like Raphael though in the movie. And in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie, it's Raphael all the way.
Oh yeah, unquestionably so.
But he's the more serious one. He's the more he's
the brooding lone wolf. He's the he's the Dylan McKay of the bunch.
Except, can I just say and get this out of the way here? It's going to happen anyway, but we need to acknowledge that it happened, and they're wrong for doing it. When he comes out of that movie theaters and disses my critters.
Yeah.
Not cool, sir. Not cool at all.
You know what?
You know that was a good movie, and you filmmakers should be ashamed.
I'll tell you one thing. I knew in my heart at the age of 6 years old, as I do now, that was no diss. That was really a love bump and a wink, wink, and a like. We love this movie.
Yeah, I do. I know now, but.
Yeah, I think I knew it then too, because I was like, Critters rules. Like, I knew the fucking VHS cover. I probably hadn't even seen the movie yet, but I was like, that cover rules, so the movie rules. Kind of looks like a funky Garbage Pail Kid,
I don't think I even thought about it.
Young me was thinking.
I don't think I even thought about it. I was just like, yeah, whatever.
But interestingly enough, that we are all different Ninja Turtles. I do want to touch on the chat and add a little fuel to it. Anyone watching at home, tell us which Ninja Turtle you relate to the most. But there are already some messages in the chat. Our good buddy Adon Gonzalez from Staunch TV says, just made it home. Adon was actually going to be on this episode, and he got stuck at work late tonight. So miss you, and thank you so much for joining the chat, my man. We definitely want to have you back on the show anytime. We love Staunch TV. Again, the best place for like 90s nostalgia, and just like it's such a great comfort food channel. So if you guys don't know, you better ask somebody and check out Staunch TV.
Definitely.
Also in the chat, our good buddy Alex Bonafonte says, sup people. Sup Alex, thank you so much for tuning in. Also the mashup geniuses, Angie and Mike Saunders, are in there saying with a little hello. Jazz Bealby is excited, I guess, with the giant yes. And from Kyle 2.0, I presume it's 2.0, yes. But I was not born when the movies came out, so I saw them on VHS as a child thanks to my dad. I rewatched the first one so many times, my dad had to get me another one because I messed up the tape. I did the same thing with Back to the Future. Since I started to really get obsessed with TMNT when my aunt gave me all of my nephew's old action figures. That is the power of family, and that is why family matters right there.
All right, those are
the family ties that bind.
Those are the good hand-me-downs.
Are any of us
who's the boss now? I'm done with the sitcoms. I'm sorry.
Yeah, damn it. Anyway, were any of us cool enough to actually have VHS of the cartoon show? Did any of you have it?
Totally.
Greg, did you have? I had one.
Yeah,
I had one, but this is this is what I always remember. I remember the fact that it didn't have the box. Like, this is one of those tragedies of young kids not respecting what they had. I lost the box at like, somewhere else. So it was only just the tape that I had.
Yeah.
But
that was every tape. That was every tape I had until I was like 10 and I started to respect. But
the other, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think like when I got like a Van Damme VHS box set and like the tapes all like looked cool together, or like the Rocky box set, it's like one of those things made me respect like, oh, I should keep the tape boxes because they like look cool together lined up.
Yes, Van Damage. Well, I bring that up because I remember I actually got this from Scholastic Book Fair. I got the Ninja Turtle World Tour. Do any of you remember this?
Yes, I have the making of the World Tour on.
Do you? That's what I'm saying.
It's called the Coming Out of Their Shells Tour.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Yes, I had the VHS tape of that.
That was the one that for me that we had to keep like rebuying because I just wore it out. I love
it. Yes, Craig.
So I do want to touch on the chat again a little bit more. We got a Go Ninja Go from Alex Bonafonte. Jazz Gilby says, wise men say forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
Best line in the entire movie.
That and Ninja Pizza. Pizza that vanished quickly without trace. Those are just two ace lines right there.
32 and a half.
Summing up the brand. Yeah. What the hell's 32 and a half?
What half?
Standing on it, dude.
Come on. I was late. That guy was the perfect New Yorker. Like, I don't care who that actor is. He should get an Oscar for that 2 minutes on screen.
I got to get a better route.
The Oscars that need to be given out to Ernie Reyes Jr. for his work as Keno and Elias Koteas for his work as Casey Jones. Those are just two perfect performances, if ever any existed. But I do want to, again, not to leave anyone behind in the chat. Again, Mike Saunders saw it on VHS. Kyle says in the beginning scene in the first movie, the movie is old because you can see the Twin Towers. That's true. There is old. Like,
it is.
The movie came out in 1990, so I feel like it is one of the last films that captures 80s New York because it was probably filmed in 89. Which was fast if you think about it.
It feels like an 89 movie.
It totally does. Yeah. And it's great in that.
What does that mean, Mickey? What feels like an 89 movie as opposed to an 88 movie? Like,
I know exactly what Mickey means. It means the jeans are a little bit whiter, a little bit more acid washed, a little bit more bleached. It means the shoes that have a little bit higher top sneakers. The like goth fashion is starting to creep in a little bit. The hip hop fashion is starting to creep in just a little bit, but it's not there yet. Alternatives almost there, but it's not there yet. Fringe kids are almost there, but they're not there yet.
Yeah.
Am I wrong, Mickey? Did I sum up in 89
for the
chat? Pretty much.
For the chat room out there, I want you to create the subgenre of the 89 movie. All right, I want a list of what is the 89 movies.
Batman 89.
We are disrespecting.
No, you are going against what Chris just said. Batman 89 has nothing of what you said would be in that category, sir, and I fie upon you.
But I'm saying
this is correct because it was Tim Burton's choice to like push the movie into like a 40s aesthetic.
That's fine.
Because it would be ridiculous now if we watched that movie and there were like, high top shoes and like acid wash jeans and mullets and stuff, like
there was mullet. Like, Bob had a mullet. Come on.
But also like 89
Bob had
movies.
A mullet. He had a bald mullet.
A lot of 89 movies were about marketing, toys, all that stuff. You had a lot of that going on.
It is beginnings of like the franchise seeds. Back to the Future was getting its sequel. Batman was obviously going to be the next franchise. Indiana Jones was wrapping up as a trilogy, and there were video games.
Oh my gosh! Can I break just for 1 second here?
Break.
Why? Why was there never Indiana Jones toys?
There were.
I never saw Indiana Jones toys when I was a kid.
They weren't popular.
I need them.
Nobody wants to play with an Indiana Jones toy.
Sir, I grabbed my dad's 70s leather jacket and I grabbed his belt. I made Indiana Jones. Don't give me this. The world needed it, Mickey. Come on.
There was only a few figures. The toy line didn't really like go.
That's what I'm saying. I don't remember that, but it's like 89. Last Crusade came out. Where was the tanks? Where was the Because that was the thing with
do you
Ninja
really
Turtles.
think kids want to play with Nazi tanks? That's the problem. Do you want to
Okay,
take
well-
home
well,
Nazi
okay, well,
action
first,
figures? That's the fucking problem, man. There's like, do they want to play with
that they
Kali
have
Ma
the-
cult leader ripping people's hearts out? The movie that invented the PG-13 rating. But I don't want to
It would have been
completely
cool, though.
just, you know, I do want to pivot to the chat because they're still talking about Ninja Turtles, even though we're not.
We've
So
gone
Alex-
beyond you, chat room. All right.
Just everyone is so pleased.
Mickey,
to
I
be
did
here for
miss you,
Turtle
man.
Talk.
I missed you too, bro.
Yeah, anyways. In the chat, Alex Bonafante says, watched all 3 in theaters. Part 3 was my first walkout,
wow.
I think that
Yeah.
necessitates a
Did
clap.
he say, what did you say? He
Zoom
walked
clap for
out?
Alex.
He
Yeah,
walked
out
out.
of the third one.
Alex
Which means
Belafonte with the mic drop on that one. There
the
we
man
go.
has integrity and taste, and we applaud you for it, sir. Jazz BLB
Well-
says he doesn't remember or was tiny when it came out, but probably on VHS. Grew up on the cartoons though. Kyle says Chris and I win because Raphael is the best, though Donatello is a close second. Twine Lannister, what's up, boys? First time in a theater, a few times, then owned the VHS. Who else remembers the Pizza Hut baseball commercial? I do. That was fucking
Yes.
gold.
Yeah.
And I miss when they used to hawk
Baseball.
shit for you on VHS
Mhm.
before a successful movie, especially a successful family movie. James R. Young, a good buddy from the Punk Rock Geek Den, says, I relate more to Raph's attitude, yet my lifestyle is very Mikey. Where do they come up with this stuff? I love it. He's definitely a party dude. And it's always great times partying over at the Punk Rock Geek Den. So be sure to check those guys out as well. Alex Bonafante says, bring back martial arts in suits, ditch the CGI. That is exactly our plan. And we will get there at the half-hour mark when it comes to pitching our future Turtle movies. Kyle 2.0, the CGI was horrendous. Why remove their nose bumps? I can't even bring myself to watch those movies.
This is
them.
this is a Michael Bay
Okay.
free zone. All right.
Yeah, this is exactly.
We're gonna.
Yeah, exactly. No bays allowed.
No bays.
So
I mean, like, are we at the point to talk about 2? Because I have a
Oh,
burning,
every
a burning
day we
question.
should talk about
we
it,
are so close. I just want to wrap up these last few messages in the chat and we'll be current and we can get into like 1 and 2 and all that stuff.
We'll be current.
Well, you know, I don't want to leave anyone behind. Again, Alex Bonafante, he's already pitching new stuff.
No man
so
left behind.
Okay. And Kino played Donatello. Jazz Bilby says Kino played Donatello in the suit in the first film, which is again Ernie Reyes Jr. Great martial artist. His father was Ernie Reyes Sr. They come, you know, along. There's a great lineage between those two of just Hollywood history. Ninja Turtles movies were well served to have them involved. I just watched, you know, all the Halloween Towns with Judith Hoag, who plays April O'Neil in the first film, and I guess that's a great pivot point to transition to like getting to 2, because the only thing we left out, obviously, didn't talk about Sam Rockwell, Corey Feldman, and
Did you say you just watched Halloween Town?
I did for a panel that I'm doing with the Star Halloween Town this weekend at New Jersey
I-
Horror Con.
I just
November 12th, 13th, 14th. Come down and have a great time.
I just
guys.
really wanted Chris just sitting in his room with a blanket and like hot cocoa and just watching Halloween Town.
It's pretty, yeah. You know what? If it wasn't that, I'd be watching like Homeward Bound or Now and Then. So it's pretty on brand for me.
Hey, I can't judge you. I just watched The Adventures of Milo and Otis a couple days
it's a
ago.
brilliant
So
movie.
I mean,
you
like,
can hear the scotch in Dudley Moore's glass, and the ice, and the, you know. So, man, I love it. It's
oh,
brilliant.
Milo. What,
No,
what
Milo, I
Milo?
swear, don't fall down the hole.
I put that hole,
Oh,
Milo.
I'll have to get
So-
another glass of
How's-
whiskey.
I just need a ride.
So here's my burning question about 2.
Okay.
You replace April O'Neil
With the lovely Paige Turco,
Turco,
who I love
which
to
I
this day.
thought that was an upgrade, but I wondered why they replaced her. And
I've
then the
always wondered
second-
about this.
and
No
this-
disrespect to Judith Hoag, who was great,
Yeah,
but I don't know. I
Paige
heart
Turco.
Paige Turco, man.
Mhm.
Oof. She's so cute, and I
and
just
then
can't
the
help it.
s- The
I
second
know that's a
thing,
sleazy thing to say, and I apologize.
the second thing is why no Feldman?
Feldman was having some drug problems that I think at that time. I just met Ian's hero, Richard Mazer, this weekend, who had great Feldman stories. Yeah, I know. I have an autograph for Ian in the mail. But he said, you know, on License to Drive, he basically straightened out Haim in one talking to, in like a father-son way. He's like, Feldman was raised by wolves. He's like, I don't know what was wrong with that kid. He hit me up when he was when I was president of the union. He hit me up because he was getting in some trouble, and I'm like, Corey, what the hell's going on, man? He's like, I don't know. But these are Richard Mazur's stories. So if he comes to a con near you, be sure to meet him.
Then he comes back for part 3.
He does.
Oh right, yes. That's true. Which was kind of strange because can't believe he had sobered up by then. I think honestly he had lowered his price.
All right, let's just get this out of the way, folks. There is no Ninja Turtles It just doesn't exist. We're not even going to talk.
We're not going to waste too much time talking about it because it is an atrocity.
Yeah. There's a movie out there on the video shelves between Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Secret of the Ooze and Turtle Love. All right, there's a box there. There you go. We settled. Okay, like
the Coming Out of Their Shells tour is a superior effort to the Turtles in Time.
Except they do have that song. You know what I'm talking about?
I think I know the song. Yeah, that's interesting. Your rendition of it, I like more though. Yeah,
Tarzan Boy, right?
Mickey, you sing it. I can't sing.
That is not one I would even dare to try.
It does have that. They have that dance number. That's the only thing that is good from that movie. But I did have the action figure. I did have one of the samurai action figures. I don't know why I had that one action figure, but I do remember it came with that little shaft.
It's kind of like you have that grandma who gets you like an Atari game when you're already
That's
on like
what
Super
it was.
Nintendo.
It was my grandma gave it to me.
Yeah, they still get you like a Ninja Turtle game, action figure when you're like 16. You're like, thanks, grandma.
Did anybody play the Turtles video game?
Oh, the arcade, yes.
The video game Turtles in Time is great, and the arcade game was great.
The Nintendo one was awesome.
Yeah.
Craig, do you have any Ninja Turtles back there, like behind you? I
have a lot of Ninja Turtles back behind me. They're back in years.
Nice.
I even know
yeah.
Oh man. They say you never get over the toys you didn't get when you were a kid, and I still want a Technodrome amongst many other things, WWF ring and a Pee-wee's Playhouse action figure set.
Craig has a My Scary Buddy.
But
it's My Pet Monster.
That's My Pet Monster. That's what it was. Oh my god.
The first two films are really great in their own ways. The first film is like nice and dark and edgy, and you can tell it's very much inspired by Tim Burton's Batman. And the second film is like the studio was like, no, you're lightening this up this time. We're getting our way, and they actually pulled it off.
The second film reminds me of Ghostbusters too. And that like they punch up the jokes and everything else like that.
Another 89 film, by the way.
Another 89 film. But in any event, like second one just reminds me of just Ghostbusters too. And it's
they did the same thing.
I find it better than the first one in story.
Yeah,
it's more fun. It's just something
But like, it is more the cartoon. Yeah, I mean, like they did that, which for those of you who don't know, that's why Ghostbusters 2. That's why Janine looks different that's why she looks kind of cartoonish. It's because kids had watched the real Ghostbusters and had an image of Jeannie in their head.
Janine. So I dream of Janine though.
Janine, yeah, and that's the thing. That's why she looks like the cartoon Janine. And Slimer's a little funnier and all that. I definitely see they did the same thing for Ninja Turtles Like it was totally let's bop because Rock. I don't know why they didn't have Rockstar and Bebop. Instead.
Rocksteady.
Damn it, Chris, we get it. Knock it off.
Thanks, Grandpa. Dad is Rocksteady.
But they
told you.
They had these complete cartoon. Although it gives me my favorite Shredder line. They're babies. That's the best.
Of course. What did you expect? About fully intelligent.
David Warner. Speaking of drunk,
they do have certain attributes. David Warner is one of those things that helps in the second film. The only problem I have with the second film is no Casey Jones. If they could have put him into that movie too, it would have been the perfect thing. It would have been great because they could have both been sort of fighting for like April's affections, and that would have been a very interesting like thing, comedic thing to play out.
Well, then they brought him back for the third one, which was like,
they had it like in a weird ancestral role.
Yeah.
I does, you know, like
Ninja Turtles
you.
I was basically the apology letter, but we were all done with it, right? We're all like, I don't need your apology letter, sir. I'm out the door and I'm on to Mortal Kombat. F you. You know, like it was.
I think
and the
when
younger
that
kids
came
were on to
out,
Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think when that came out, it was the fad was kind of dying down.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Well, they got the
Yeah, it was
fucking
like the
first
last
movie
hurrah.
out right quick. They got the second movie out within a year, which is almost unheard of, especially for New Line at the time was an upstart. This was the second thing that made New Line. Other people should realize this too. Freddie gave them enough money to get the bid on Ninja Turtles that, you know, got them the movie. And then that movie really took them. If you look at like, you know, New Line before Ninja Turtles was entirely just Freddie and like a couple other things.
Horror
The
movies.
New Line after Ninja Turtles is a legitimate fucking studio. Like
let's use the money we got from a pedophile horror serial killer to buy the franchise that kids absolutely love and adore.
That's the way it works. And that franchise was essentially created to sell toys anyways.
Yeah.
Basically,
in a sense, you know.
I think the cartoons were created to sell the toys.
The cartoons were, not the comics,
the movies,
but the cartoons.
The movie did help with that, obviously.
In the comics, they all had the same color headband, and that was like the first thing they made them change for the cartoon show. Yeah, now they all have to wear different color headbands. The thing that's always been funny to me is
I didn't know that.
Is I don't know why they decided on like blue, red, and purple makes sense to me, but then why they decided on orange for Michelangelo, I don't know what. Like, why didn't they just go with yellow?
Pizza color.
I don't know, but it does fit so well. I never really thought about that.
Yellow could be a party color too. I don't know.
I think orange is more pizza color. Like if you like,
it's just so close to red that like in a lot of scenes, you know, especially on older TVs, the colors weren't so good. Like they're too close in my opinion, color wise. But that's my only caveat. I wouldn't change it at this point, obviously.
I think they just did that just to really like identify who's who.
Right, but yellow would have been, you know, they would have all looked different against each other, you know, put any two next to each other and it's clear who's who. Anyway, not to get too much into that stuff. One interesting fact, two interesting facts of Secret of the Ooze. Number one, just moped. That's all I have to say. There's a great moped in there. Why
oh God, that's right.
Yeah, and some seriously, one part that hasn't aged well where he goes, you know, he tries to hit on the girls, gets rejected, and they say dream on. He goes, okay, but when I do, I'll dream of something a little thinner. So not cool fat shaming going on. Kino is not woke, but he will be after he trains with Splinter. That'll make him.
This is the era that Heavyweights was made. Let's not forget this.
The perfect film that it is. Another interesting fact of two that I find fascinating is that one of the many times Axl Rose kept a crowd waiting in the 90s for a concert, a Guns N' Roses concert, was because he was watching Secret of the Ooze on VHS and he like made the crowd wait. He was like an hour late or something because he wanted to finish watching Secret of the Ooze. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's incredible. Only Axl Rose could do that and make you love him for it. We know you're watching, Axl. Also, touch on the chat real quick before we get to our.
What if he actually is, and right now he just completely denied your statement? He's like, I didn't do that.
He
Actually,
probably
if you're
would.
in the chat, hit us up. Maybe it's
please
Bonafonte and not Alex Bonafonte. We don't know. Could have been here the whole time. Damn it, the whole time. So I do want to touch on the chat again. There's some Halloween Town love in there.
No, there's not. None of you like that movie.
There is. Jazz Beelby. Halloween is a great film. Also, Jazz Beelby says Judith is the best April of the two, in his humble opinion. And the best thing about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 is that they brought Casey Jones back. We'd all agree there. Some talk of the video games. Mike Saunders.
Casey Jones.
Mike Saunders says the original one on NES was fun but hard. Yeah. I thought it was fucking impossible. But it was games fun. On the NES.
It was fun. I never beat it, but it was just fun.
You'd never get past like 2 levels before you gave up and put in like a more fun game, though. Let's be honest.
It's so true though. But I actually remember spending a whole Saturday once. My friend Josh, we actually beat it.
Oh wow.
It was, but we spent all
Nerds.
Saturday. What? How dare you, sir?
I did, although you know what, I can't say anything. I did the same thing to beat Arkanoid, and then we got to like the last level and didn't even beat it. So I think then my Nintendo crapped out. Like you get the blinking red light of death.
Yeah.
Like no,
Just blow on it, man. Just blow it.
if
I'm
only
blowing
I
on
had
it.
a top loader NES back then. Also, also in the chat, Jazz BLB, I've gone back and played the video games lately, and it's so hard. I swear it was easier when I was younger. I don't think so. I think we were just more entranced by playing as Ninja Turtles that we like stuck in it longer.
Well,
We
we've
had more
ruined our
enthusiasm.
thumbs. We've ruined our
Yeah.
thumbs with phones. That's why
We played it with gusto. Yeah.
I did beat the arcade, the Turtles in Time one or whatever like that. I beat that in the arcades because it was one of those arcades that, you know, it's free play. So just
when there was arcades, you were at the
No, there's
mall.
no.
You were at the mall every freaking weekend, Mickey, having dates and stuff.
there's one-
Apparently, of course, you're at the arcade.
there's one a couple towns over from us.
Speaking of arcades, in the chat, Axel Bonafante says, my grade school friend's mom had a bag of tokens. We put them all into the OG TMNT arcade cabinet. And sadly, she passed away 5 or so years later due to cancer. Well, we are very sorry for your loss, but glad that you have some Teenage Mutant memories to hold on to, as we all do, of products of the 90s, 80s, and 90s. So it's time to talk turkey and turtles. Who's got pitches? Obviously, if you're watching in the chat, let us know. Oh, some new names in there. Hardcore Graveyard. Our buddy Corey Gomez runs an incredible podcast and Facebook page and website. Be sure to check them out. You wrestling fans will not be disappointed. I believe
That's me.
I believe there was one person in the chat who had a pitch already. I'm just trying to scroll back to find it now.
Was it Alex?
Oh yeah, Alex Bonafonte. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, his pitch was Emma Stone as April O'Neil. It's a no-brainer. Sean William Scott
Sold.
as Casey Jones. I was sold. I don't know about Stifler as Casey Jones. I loved him in Goon and all that stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Models,
You're connecting the goon part. That's why.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I can see it. I can see it.
I see what you did there. Affordable and has the range to pull off humor and psychosis. That is fair. No discrediting his work as an actor. I actually do like him a lot. Oh, and Axel Bonafonte says he's actually Duff McKagan, also in the chat. So I knew it. Duff,
Nice.
we love you, the best pick bassist of the 80s glam metal era. So Ninja Turtles 3, you know, fuck Ninja Turtles 3. Ninja Turtles 4, I should say.
Why
Here's the deal.
are those shirts not out there in this world? You know,
Here's
just
the deal, right?
Fuck Ninja
I
Turtles
usually
3.
think the two dirtiest
oh my god, somebody
words-
make this happen. We need this in this world. We need those
Here's
shirts.
the
Fandom
here's the
Spotlight will
long-
now put those shirts out there.
here's the long and short of my philosophy on this stuff. I think the two dirtiest words in filmmaking are CGI and retcon. And I absolutely refuse to acknowledge a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie that's going to have both, right? So if I'm going to have to pick one to get rid of first, it's going to be CGI. So that's like rule number one. Obviously, kind of preface with the episode, how do we bring back 90s live action turtles in suits? And the way I think to do it is to lean into the lore that was left over from the cartoon show, because that's really what it's all a port of. Like, not that many people read the comics, but 1 billion people watch the TV show.
Yeah.
So you still have like the turtle van, never got it in a movie. You still have the turtle blimp, never got it in a movie. The Technodrome, never got it in a movie. Krang, you never got it in a movie. And I would love to see I would love to see like a Lovecraft done live action Krang. Like, fuck CGI. No, live action Krang done in the style of like From Beyond and shit would be amazing. Amazing. Like Total Recall style Quato Krang, like like with makeup, and just make it disgusting. It would be start the reactor. Yeah, dude, it would
Open
be
your
awesome.
mind.
So that is like, that's to me where I want to dive in. As much as it'd be funny to see like time pass, to see it be like the middle-aged Mutant Ninja Turtles, that actually was a sketch, I think, on Saturday Night Live or something.
What would you want this story to be about, though?
So it's going to be in the 90s. Obviously, I feel like it just kind of has
So you
to
would
be
go
for them
back
to still
to the
be
90s.
teenagers. You
Yeah.
have to, because it's like you know, you're making another Saturday Night Fever movie. Like, it doesn't work today. Disco's dead, you know, like the spirit of the 90s is like kind of quintessential to the Turtles. And again, like that leftover little bits of 80s Manhattan that are still there, you know, like it hasn't washed away yet. You know, Manhattan's still like a rough crime riddled place. Or a place where you can get good pizza at you know, half addresses.
there are no hipsters in Brooklyn.
What would you
exactly? Brooklyn is fucking terrifying at this point in time, and that's where the Foot Clan is probably based.
Yeah. How about if you did like almost like the Turtles in Time, but you brought them to now, so they're from the 90s and they come to now.
That would kind of.
Here's why I say fire on you, Mickey. You're acting like a producer, which I love. You're doing the producer thing. But well, no, what he's doing is he's saying it's going to be expensive, but if we jump the time, we're going to save money in the long run. I love it.
Yeah. And then, I mean, the 90s is basically coming back. A lot of the styles, a lot of the things. So there's familiarity that they can see, you know, so they're thinking they're in the 90s, but they're not in the 90s.
Well, you know, it has fun potential, and I'm not entirely against this concept, but I would rather have them come to like a 90s vision of what 2021 was going to be, you know, like they come to now, but it's not the now, it's the more expensive now. And Ian, the producer side, is going to be like, no, don't do this. But give, you know, like, I want to see all the Dimension X stuff, like Teenage Hot Rods from Dimension X and stuff with like the flying 50s cars and shit like that. To me is just some of my favorite stuff ever. And Ian knows about this. I've
Turtles in Space.
No, you know, I'm not opposed to a Turtles in Time thing, but I feel like you need another solid Turtles movie to get there again, because the last time was Turtles in Time. It's basically that Halloween thing where it's like the last one was H2O, this one's like H4O, but that's a lame title, so we're just going to call it Halloween. Another thing I'm against is, you know, not incorporating the number 4 into the title. You know, I feel like you need that to tie it back to like what it was.
Yeah, because the recent 2 that came out were basically, you know, just, you know, together. Like, you know, one was done and then the second one was done to it. So
yeah,
those are not a part of the lineage of Turtles movies.
With the Michael Bay crap CGI, yeah, we're not. Again, this is a Bay free zone here.
Well, I think it would actually be kind of cool in a way if you were doing something like this, and maybe it's borrowing a little bit from Ghostbusters but you know, like Turtles are lame, right? Like everybody's like, I remember these days of the Turtles, stuff like that, and so you got our Turtles are just hanging out, right? Like maybe there's something where they just couldn't do it anymore. Like the 4 of them split up, they're all in their own little different worlds and all this kind of stuff, and
you know, like on the detective agency
or well, yeah,
get the band back together.
You got to get the band back together, and like I think yeah, you know, it's like April, like something happens to April, right? Or, you know, like, because, you know, like right now New York is like, to be honest, the cleanest, nicest New York of all time, right? Like you got to have a Bane come in and just like destroy the crap out of the city and like make it a war zone. And who are the heroes?
Who else could do that but the return of Super Shredder?
Super Shredder.
Yes, that's what I'm
sorry.
saying.
That's I think a great place to start. And then you still lean into having other villains. Like, you know, just because there's so much that we need to kind of make up for a little bit of like lost opportunities. I wouldn't mind seeing Krang, even if it's just a tease in the next film. Like Shredder is the ultimate Darth Vader, and even Super Shredder is still a Vader, and he needs like an Emperor type of character. And Krang, I just love Krang, you know, and I love that shitty voice he had on the cartoon, and I think that's like an interesting problem to try and solve, because you can't have him talk like that in the movies, like Shredder, you know, like that's not gonna work.
I almost feel like Meatwad from the Aqua Teen Hunger Force. This is Krang.
Yeah, almost a little bit. There's probably some inspiration there. There is some talk in the chat already. There's a little bit of hardcore graveyard saying I spent $20 to beat the arcade game. Now I own one. That's pretty fucking cool. I don't own one of those. Kyle 2.0 says, you guys are a bunch of haters. TMNT 3 wasn't that bad. I don't know.
Shut up, Kyle. Shut your mouth. Shut your dirty young mouth. All right.
Hey, you know what? Everyone's allowed to like what they like. You dig?
No, they're not. You cannot like that movie.
In the words of Luis Guzman, I say wear what you dig.
No. You acknowledge who you are, Kyle 2.0, what you've just said, and you apologize to this world for what you just said.
So there are some casting.
I'm just kidding, Kyle. You're a friend. Don't shut us off.
Yeah, we all love Kyle 2.0.
Well, he has his finger over the button. Don't shut us off here.
So there is again, whoa, I just got way lost in the chat here. Okay, some casting pitches in the chat. Hardcore Graveyard says The Rock as Casey Jones. That's actually interesting, but I could see The Rock playing a fantastic Super Shredder because he's already super fucking shredder.
No. You bring back Kevin Nash as Super Shredder. So
you think he can? I mean, no disrespect to Kevin Nash. I mean, it's been 30
he's
years.
Still jacked. He's still jacked.
I know he's still jacked, but like, there's a difference between being jacked and being like agile and jacked.
He could do it. Yeah. He could do it.
I think guys they get arthritis.
Wait, Kevin Nash, the wrestler?
Yeah, he
was Super Shredder.
You know? Yeah.
Really interesting.
Yep.
I didn't know that. Okay.
I don't think they needed much makeup on him. But that's an interesting theory, though. Out of The Rock, come on, The Rock would be a great Super Shredder. He's gigantic. He would need nothing but the helmet. That's it.
Yeah, but you wouldn't cover The Rock in a helmet. That's why it would.
To me, Stallone, Judge Dredd, he's gonna be taking it off. Spider-Man freestyle every 2 seconds.
I don't think you need. I would love to have that voice, the voice actor from, from Secret of the Ooze,
Uncle Phil.
No.
Right.
No, it was Uncle Phil. That's right. No, I want
cartoon. Yeah.
No, because again, my favorite. They're babies. Like I want that voice. Like that's my Shredder.
I mean, he was great.
I took your ear.
And Master Tetsu was great. I wouldn't mind seeing him back. Obviously, that'd be a little tough. And the other, these are tough things now. You can't really have Elias Codius play Casey Jones anymore. You can't really have Paige Turco play April O'Neil anymore. You do need to like freshen up those faces, and that's tough.
Stephen Amell played Casey Jones in the newer ones that we're not talking about.
Yeah, no disrespect to Stephen Amell, but we're not talking about that.
But I think he was fine as Casey Jones, even though it was pretty much him as Arrow. But
yeah, we need we need to distance ourselves from that. We can't take leftover parts and say, oh, like this was good, but that wasn't. And, that's just no. We gotta clean slate, clean separation of church and state.
You're talking about getting into like what the new
Scarlett Johansson.
But you know what? We didn't know she. Again, that would have probably been 10 years ago. Or no disrespect to ScarJo, who I love.
She could totally still be April.
Yeah, she could be April O'Neil. That'd be a great get. I always thought Leah Thompson should have been April O'Neil in the 1990 movie. It would have
during the Howard
they probably
the
couldn't
Duck
have afforded her at the time, and she was probably busy doing the Back to the Futures anyways. But man, I feel like that would have put it like a bump up over the top, even higher.
Or Isla Fisher would be good.
She would be good. I do like her. Is it? I thought it was Isla Fisher, but I could be wrong. I'm really bad at mispronouncing names.
I could be wrong.
There is some David Alex Bonafonte says we need David Lynch's TMNT.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Because it'd be a weird looking it'd be like a weird monk, like turtle with like muck all over its face, and it would look like a racer head. Like,
one of the turtles is in like a sexual relationship with Dennis Hopper.
Yeah,
I know that everybody loves the nostalgia of the Turtles and the goofiness and the jokes and everything like that, but I really would love to see an R-rated Turtles movie, kind of like based off the original comics.
I would love that if it still had like the Cow-a-bunga pizza party vibes too. Like give me brutal violence and swear words, on one hand, and on the other hand, give me pizza and good times and Cow-a-bunga and high fives.
Well, I'm not familiar with the comics. Did the comics stay that way? Did they kidify it over time?
once they
Probably.
basically sold the rights to the movies and stuff like that,
It was just all kids and
Yeah.
like that would be that would honestly, if you did the original comic book, like the four.
Oh, we hear that we're hearing some interference on our end here. It sounds like Kyle 2.0 getting hot and heavy.
He's trying to get us out of here. That was
trying to sway. Yeah, he's trying to sway us towards a TMNT
but if you did nobody, God. Anyway, I challenge
do
any
TMNT 3.0.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles III 3D, you know. But I honestly think that would be interesting as a one-out movie, like just a one-time, you know.
Yeah.
It actually could be kind of creative. And I'll be honest, I'm putting my producer hat on. That'd be a great animated film. If they were to do like that series of the Ninja Turtles.
If they did it anime style.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, if you did it that way, I think that would actually be kind of cool. And
again, there's a plethora,
make it Corey Feldman. Make it
again. There's a plethora of animated movies out there. So again, kind of the point. I want to get everyone get their money's
not for
worth
this
on
one. I'm just saying
live action. Yeah,
I'm just saying if you did that, I think that'd
would you say you have a plethora?
A plethora.
So again, I do want to touch up on the chat.
When we prune the hedges.
Our good friend Melanie Mullen says, I thought Chris was going to say we need to lean into the Lord. And I was like, pretty sure he has better things to do than to worry about live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Which is blasphemy. The Lord is very wholly concerned with the sanctity of the Ninja Turtles franchise.
No, he's not, because he allowed some demon to create Ninja Turtles III. Like, get out of here.
That was we call that the Dark Ages, my friend.
That was the Dark Ages.
That's BC.
Duff McKagan, aka Duff McKagan, aka Alex Bonafonte, says at Hardcore Graveyard, Vin Diesel is April. Hey, why not make it a family affair? Britt Baker says, Hardcore Graveyard says Britt Baker would be a great April. Don't know her. I imagine she may be a wrestler.
AEW. She's the AEW Women's Champ.
He says Kevin Hart is Baxter Stockman, Steven Seagal is Shredder, and Danny Trejo is Splinter. That is a fucking
I buy Danny Trejo.
Cast.
I buy Danny Trejo. Like, that voice would be kind of cool. But but again, Hollywood, there was no way they'd cast Danny Trejo. I mean,
no, because you're risking now, like, in this day and age with the racial appropriation vibe thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's very
true. I would definitely think they I don't know. Is Getty Watanabe, did he have anything to do with the Bay movies? I know we're not talking about Bay movies, but did he have any connection with those? I never saw them, so I don't know.
I mean, I saw them, but I can't, I can't remember.
I love
his voice.
I know Megan Fox was April O'Neil in the second.
Yeah, Getty Watanabe would be an amazing Splinter voice. If you ever see Sands of Iwo Jima, I mean, he's an incredible actor. But
he's got a great voice.
That voice would be just perfect.
Jet Li.
Also, Jet Li would be Jet Li would be a great Shredder actually too. You can size him up with the shoulder pads and shit. That's kind of what they did in the first one. Give him some lifts, and he can take care of the rest. He'll sell it. And again, his eyes would look great coming through that mask. He's got really piercing eyes. So I feel like that could actually work. He could also have been the human version of Splinter. I would totally buy that too, which is actually the storyline that I want to see. And there's a great cartoon episode where like they get a cure to the mutagen, and for a while Splinter turns back into a human, into a man, which again I think was different from the way the origins were in the 90s movies. I think Splinter was a rat that trained like with the master and then got the ooze and
No. They did in the second movie they explained how he knew Shredder and he was a human, and they were vying for the same woman.
I think in the movie
because he cut off the ear. Because he cut off Shredder's ear.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, but they explained that. They explained that in the first one.
He didn't explain how he became a rat. Like how he took the form of a rat.
I don't think they said that. No, they said that in the movie. His owner was the one that he trained, like he watched his owner do all the fighting, and
Well,
then
Right. Yeah.
Again, I think there may be some inconsistency in the movies, but I'm pretty sure Ian's right on that memory of one.
But he knew the master. He knew the master. So maybe
he knew the master.
He knew the master, and then his ear got cut off, and then he wandered the streets, and then he found the turtles in the ooze, and because they have that cool like it's like it's puppets, but it's not.
I know what you mean, and the little baby turtles, and like,
a little bit radical.
Yeah.
But in the comics, like you're right, Chris. In the comics, he was a human, and then he became.
Okay, in the comics. Well, yeah, it's hard to remember. There's a TV show, the comics,
but I think
movies,
I think
all
they
different
did
origins.
that on the cartoon as well. I think they.
So it's a mess. We can clean that up.
It's like,
can you imagine though? Like we talk about that scenario where it's like the turtles got to come back home and like imagine if you had a cool Avengers shot, where all the turtles come out from everywhere that they come in and they have their weapons and it's this circle shot, and they do the stance right in front of like a famous pizza place in New York City.
And that's in which one? The first one?
No, I'm saying that would be in this one. This
okay.
In Ninja Turtles IV. You do like an Avengers shot. And that would, I mean, like all of us fanboys would just start crying.
Yeah. I mean, that's a key moment. It's gotta have story behind it, otherwise it'll be hollow. Fan service. But speaking, we were talking about rats and stuff before. So again, getting back to the chat, which is going wild right now. Always
speaking of rats, let's get back to our
well, there's a rat comment in the chat that I'm about to read, my friend.
I know how you worded it. Oh, speaking of rats, let's get back to these fools in the chat room.
No. Speaking of rats, Twyan Lannister, aka Dustin Nino from Retro Fiend Radio, says, I want Stephen Lambert to play Rat King and Jonathan Silverman to play Baxter Stockman. I am down for both of those.
Jonathan Silverman.
Lambo is incredible, as is Jonathan Silverman. And again, Retro Fiend Radio, if you don't know, make some of the best canon and martial arts documentaries you will ever find on the internet. Be sure to check them out on YouTube. So there's title pitches: Turtles Forever, Return of the Ooze. Jazz Beelby says the son of the Shredder could be the villain.
Forever, yes.
The son of Shredder.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. Also, Adon Staunch TV says Vanilla Ice says his favorite turtle is Raphael, so is mine, and is mine. I agree there. And there's a lot of now apologizing for Michael Bay and Turtles 3 in the chat.
As there should be.
There's also Chris Evans is Casey Jones. I mean, that's a pretty tough.
Chris Evans, I'd buy.
That would be a good get.
He wouldn't do that.
There's also Donald Glover as Casey Jones. I'm for that.
Wouldn't do it. He started his career not another teen movie. Come on now.
There's some Rip James Avery in the chat as well, because of he's from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and did the voice on the cartoon show. Strange Dominus asks, what is the secret of the ooze? I think maybe she's born with it, but just maybe it's Maybelline. Scarjo, Leah Thompson, love in the chat. Wow, the chat's going wild. This always happens at the end. What the fuck? Wow, there's no way I'm gonna read all that. Okay, I'm sorry guys, but I'm glad you're all tuning in and chatting. So we have a few minutes left. It's kitchen sink time, right? Like, I need this movie to feel like Empire Strikes Back for it to work for me personally, because we haven't gotten that yet, like the Empire Strikes Back of Turtles movies. So I open with Krang's fucking 200-foot Godzilla body in live action, no CGI, all Godzilla style, man in a suit, force perspective photography. And the turtle blimp is like sailing into Manhattan. I just start off on a kick-ass mission, kind of like the way Indiana Jones: The Temple of Doom starts, where it's like you're wrapping up one thing. You're the first scene of your movie would be the last scene of another movie. And I think
the Uber driver is completing his ride.
And like the people watching this thing are like Baxter Stockman, and again like the Rat King.
Yeah.
I don't know who could play these people nowadays, and I won't get into that, because there's a lot of great casting theories out there, but I would not, who could be an interesting Baxter Stockman, and he's going to be having a huge comeback soon. And I will get into it a little bit. It's Thomas Ian Griffith, who's going to be blowing minds on December 31st as Terry Silver in Cobra Kai season 4, to keep it martial arts related. So at that point, you know, it's tempting to even go with Robotic Foot Clan to bring that back, because that was an element of the cartoon show. So you can kick the heads off the bad guys and shit and not feel bad about it. Again,
that was the
no
arcade
fucking
game.
CG. No CG required to do that. It's like simple old school trickery. You almost need to make this movie with a canon mentality, but on like a New Line budget, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
For it to feel right. Like, it shouldn't feel like a $500 million event movie, but like you want it to be that exciting, but in that old school way, in the traditional way, you know.
You basically want Masters of the Universe is what you want.
Or First Blood Part 2.
I would totally buy it. Like just a continuation of, you know, everything that did happen, say in the cartoon and in the comics. I feel like we got cheated after 3, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Oh, a portal opens. Oh, I got it. It's the fucking
such an
Dimension
open world.
It's the fucking Dimension X movie, right? So after they fucking defeat Krang or whatever stalemate fight in the beginning, the Godzilla scene, right? That's a great opening scene. Then you have like the Dimension X portal rip open and just all fucking hell breaks loose. You Ghostbusters won that shit with the ending. All hell, you know what I mean? Like everything, Krang, like the rock people, but then you have the teenagers from Dimension X that come help with their flying convertibles. You get the turtle van, maybe a hover conversion on that just for shits and gigs, because that's 90s fun. I need turtle comms, man. Like I need April to have that yellow jumpsuit. There's just a lot of like brand identification things that this would need to have to work. But I don't know, you know, I feel like I'm doing all the talking here, so I feel bad you guys.
I mean, you're making
you actually nailed what I was thinking anyway. So like, because I was either gonna say, you know, just a continuation, or like, what if the inevitable happens and they all have to like split up, and what becomes of them then?
Well, there is always that moment, and I feel like it's always incumbent upon Raph to be the one that walks out.
Yeah,
you know. But maybe this time, maybe they change it up. Maybe this time, maybe Leo has a crisis of faith or something. And that's really what they should have done. Is they should have planned to at least have 4 movies, and each different turtle had a character arc. You know what I mean? That like the first one could have been Ralph, the second one could have been Leo, the third one Donatello. You know.
To go more in depth in their origin.
And if you get to a 5th one, then you give Splinter the character arc. You Back to the Future 3 it, you know?
Yeah.
In only that one way. Preface that. No, what is sending them back in time.
What does this mean? It means nothing. All of these 3 movies have nothing to do with anything. Go forth.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good message. Your future is whatever you make it, so make it a good one.
But we are Sarah Connor bull crap. I don't want to hear it.
That's no fate but what we make for ourselves, my friend.
Same crap.
They all have their things. Ninja Turtles have Cow-a-bunga and Bossa Nova and Radical and all that stuff. So it's all great. It's all the DNA that makes us what we are and why we get together on these podcasts and nerd out over this stuff. But we are almost out of time in the present. So I do want to ask Craig, is there anything you got coming up on the Punk Rock Geek Den you want to let the people know about?
No, we're kind of taking it easy at the moment. We're doing a lot of like public domain watches right now. Those are a lot of fun. So.
Oh man, that is right up Ian's alley. I feel like.
Last night we watched like three Stooges episodes. That was a good time.
I just showed my class disorder in the court. Yes, all right.
Anytime the Three Stooges do want like a haunted house or anything, it's just the greatest things that have ever happened to pop culture, in my opinion. Those are just phenomenal.
The Abbott and Costello ones are always
my favorite. Oh
yeah, those are great too. But there's something about
Shemp for life.
Like the Stooges horror episodes are just incredible. They're just fucking unrivaled. Scooby-Doo good. Mickey, Ian, anything you guys got coming up in the works you want to let the people know about?
Nothing really for me.
Any plays? Everything's wrapped?
Everything is wrapped, but do look forward to another great and wonderful and angry movie review from Ian Klink coming up on Fandom Spotlite, covering the classic film King Bleepin' Frat. So I hope you enjoy it, or as it's known in other markets, King Bleeping Fart. whichever one you have. So
I was ready with the quick fart.
I appreciated that. Actually, that was good.
Thank you. We're a team effort here. So that just about does it for us. You Fandom fans might want to tune into Tuesday's Fear the Walking Dead Reactor panel featuring our very own Governor Captain Kyle. And of course, we want you to tune in next Wednesday at 9 p.m. when we find out how Terry Griffith can dress like Elvis Costello and look like the Karate Kid all at the same time. That's right. The time is set next week to pay our respects to one of the greatest 80s comedies ever made, Just One of the Guys. And since this is such an extraordinary film, we've lined up 2 extraordinary guests in pop culture author Christine Gaines, friend of the show, making a second appearance, and the director of Just One of the Guys herself, Miss Lisa Gottlieb. The word stoked doesn't even begin to cover it, folks.
No, it does not.
As always, if there's a particular movie or TV franchise that you want us to cover on a future episode, let us know in the comment section on YouTube. And since you're already doing that, you might as well go ahead, like, subscribe, and follow Punk Rock Geek Den, Fandom Spotlight, Rick Barth and the Line, the Hollow 9 Network, and Pop Culture Punk. Till then, back up those Betamax, rewind those laser discs, and we'll see you at the movies. Later, guys.